Hey there. My name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine. Today's topic is justice versus judgment. Let's begin by talking about the distinction, which you may be more knowledgeable of than I, but let's start with this basis. The distinction between discernment and judgment. I can discern that I don't want to hang out in a room full of cockroaches. I can discern that I would enjoy being in a room full of butterflies. It doesn't mean, this is what I call the cockroach versus the butterfly effect. It doesn't mean the cockroach is bad and the butterfly is good. They simply are. A cockroach is, a butterfly is. I can discern my preference. And I'm the steward of my preferences and my experiences to a certain degree. So the distinction between discernment and judgment is I can discern not to put my hand into a fire. Why? Because it will burn my hand. But I don't have to judge fire as bad because there have been two people in my family that have had house fires, and therefore it's bad. No, I can just discern it's dangerous. And we need to be mindful and careful with that element. It's a very powerful element. So I speak to this piece because I feel like it's always the missing link when it comes to justice ever being served. Many two-leggeds believe that justice is served with an eye for an eye. You know, chop off their hands, they stole something. Oh, were they a mother trying to feed their baby? I didn't have all the facts. No, you never have all the facts. You never have all the facts. I am somebody who is a very adept psychic, a very powerful. I actually let my intuition and my inner world and my heart rule my life, guide my life, direct my ship. It's the boss of me because it's connected to divinity. And I'm trying to listen to that higher, more exalted, super conscious, higher self linked into me through the subconscious self, through the dreamtime mind, through the more alpha theta brainwave state, instead of my beta left hemisphere. You know, I'm trying to get some of that creative, more connected to agape, divine love answer in this life because that's my focus. So that being said, I never liked the word justice. And that's really weird because you can imagine my shock and my chagrin and my like, what are we talking about when I got my Dharma from the Akashic Records? My Dharma is multidimensional quantum connection to justice, truth, love, and the pursuit of divine awareness. Justice is one of like the first words up there. Once we get past all that multidimensional quantumness, justice. It's the first word in the list of words. And I've never liked that word. And I don't like it because it's not known in this realm very well. I've spent 2,000 lifetimes with a soul group focused in truth, and justice is a component of truth and universal truth, individual truth. And justice requires discernment. In order to discern what is just, like Ma'at, the Egyptian goddess that would weigh your soul against the weight of an ostrich feather, or Athena, Greek goddess of justice and wisdom with a snowy owl as her familiar, like any of the justice-themed goddess and gods that have been in the collective consciousness of man in the many lifetimes in which I've been all these other cultures and have studied all these other justice-themed deities, awareness of justice. They're not looking, do you think they're looking at just like, okay, this is what happened the week before, and then you did this. Okay, so we're going to weigh your punishment against the week before the crime. Do you think they're not looking not only at everything you've done and everything you've received in a lifetime, but also every lifetime you've ever lived? So no matter how psychic, how intuitive, how probing, how researching, how curious I may be, I am always aware that there is much that I do not see in the living tree, and there's much that I do not see about any given being. I'm not looking, you're not even looking at your whole entire journey for all the lifetimes and what it is meant to be you as a soul and what trials and tribulations you have had to overcome or are currently overcoming due to the current evolutionary phase that you're in. So justice would take into account and discern the entire journey. And we're in a culture today that says if you are racist, if you are misogynistic, if you're xenophobic, if you are transphobic, if you are homophobic, if you are a lot of things, pick a negative title. You're wrong and you're bad, which is judgment. It's not compassionate, and it doesn't give room for a two-legged to evolve on a topic under which they have not evolved. It's just, and a lot of people are answering those many things I've listed by becoming those things. So they say, you're racist. And then they go and they complain about white males. Okay, that's racist and it's genderphobic. It's gender hating. Okay, so if you want something to happen, like peace on earth, like understanding of diversity, like reverence for all cultures, like reverence for all sexual identifications, like reverence for any and all labels a two-legged may hold. I don't know that that's what I want, because I think we're a little bit label addicted. We're so addicted to labels, and labels are made by the ego. The ego is like, that's a this, that's a this. And we get real addicted to our labels. We get so addicted that most people that I talk to don't understand that I'm not a white woman. Time and space are a delusion. I've only ever been here now, and yet I've lived in a wide variety of bodies. And if now is the only timeline that exists, then I'm in all of those bodies now. My Dharma is based on 4th century Egypt, where I'm a man. So I'm African man, and that's where my Dharma came from. But right now, you see a white lady talking to you. But what you don't understand is that me, as African male, 4th century Egypt, I'm also talking right now, because there's only now, and time and space are a delusion in which things slow down, that we might understand what being me and me being divinity means. And so there's this component where we want to judge. If you do this, you're bad. You're not good. You're not one of the good guys. You're a bad guy. Get the bad guy, So when I was 12 or 13, I went to help my best friend. I'm going to give you a story to flush it up. And she was being abused by her mom on a regular basis, and she wanted to run away. And I was following her, and I wound up from early morning until late at night following her to her old neighborhood. We hitchhiked part of the way. We passed a black cat with a broken neck. I definitely had lots of opportunities to turn around, because there were lots of decisions and sign symbols and clues and messages of like, Heather, this is not, like, I don't hitchhike. I was just like this innocent little, like a dumb puppy just following my friend, but wanting to protect her, wanting to support her, and making a decision that would serve her finding a way towards peace in her home. And that night ended with a friend of hers raping me and taking my virginity. I was 12 or 13 years old. And in the moment that it was occurring, in the moment that he was attempting this act, she came in the room and said, don't listen to her, just do it. Now, this particular lesson taught me many things, far more than I could possibly ever express in this short little 15-minute window. Many gifts came from that experience. And the more I shadow integrated, the more I had to hand humanity around the topic of rape, sexual assault, and the liberated sexual self. And there will be more to come on this topic, because Akashic Records directly asked me to teach and speak on this. One of the things that I got was an awareness after much pain and hurt and heartache, not only from the experience and all the things that I had to go through from the trauma that occurred to my body, but also just from the trauma of my friend turning her back on me after spending a full day devotedly loving her and wanting very deeply to support her and to aid her. This awareness came to me, probably because I spend so much time focused on divinity, and this divine awareness came to me that she must have suffered sexual trauma at an even earlier age to so freely and easily hand it to me. She must have suffered this crime well before I, to so gleefully hand it to someone that is quite literally doing everything in their power to love and support them. And how sad. How sad for my friend. What a sad thing. Furthermore, the person that did this act to me is also suffering. Because I may judge the act as bad, wrong, don't do that, don't rape women, me too. P.S. Men, trans, all kinds of people get raped and sexually assaulted. Always going to try to bring that back into the conversation. It's like ridiculous the way we assign genitalia to specific traumas. That's not how that works. Men get physically abused by women too. These are all things that happen. It's like, we're just like ignoring half of what goes on half the time. Dualistic realm. There is a component of this man doing this to me, under which I have to ask myself, what kind of hell must he have faced to spread around such poison in the living tree? What did this young man go through? That at such a young age, he was actually older than I, but still under the age of 20, I believe. At such a young age, he's traumatizing children. What kind of trauma did he face? So a lot of people, when you say something like that, will want to be like, well, that doesn't justify his actions. Nobody said it justifies his actions. The point is to actually take a look at the situation. And what the ego wants to do is to be right. I'm right. A room full of butterflies is good. It's true. A room full of cockroaches is bad. Well, talk to an entomologist. They would have a different perspective to offer you. So those are just wacky ideas. The truth, if we want to be just, is that no well-adjusted, healthy, deeply loved, deeply listened to, honestly cared for, well-stewarded individual becomes a rapist. Hurt people hurt people. Trauma often begets trauma. Somebody who's been having to drink poison might not have medicine to put in your cup. And I can have compassion for that. Yes, I can. Because love is what I am. And I will not let a rapist cause me to forget what I am. You have no power over me. So let me remember what I be. Oh yeah, I'm love. I'm love. I'm the light of love and the light of truth. And as the light of love, I'm so sorry, brother, that you struggle so greatly in this lifetime that you don't even understand the repercussions of your actions. Because if you did comprehensively, karmically understand that, you wouldn't be doing this. And you have had no teachers that have supported you in understanding the magnitude of the choice you make when you take from another body, irrespective of what the genitalia is doing. So how tragic. And how tragic that you did have teachers that taught you how to pour poison in the cup of others that come around you. So justice is not an eye for an eye. And justice is not punish the crime. Burn them. I mean, I got to tell you, I still have some anger as a witch being burned at the stake and thrown in a river with a brick or whatever, different ways. That's happened through all the different lifetimes, where people, my life in Egypt, that happened. I had to flee because I was helping people heal, and the powers that be didn't want me to empower the people. And I'm here to say that, if we would truly want to get down with justice in this realm, which is my duty, my purpose as a being is to deliver justice wherever necessary. And it's a difficult thing to deliver because when you try to hand a two-legged, okay, if we really want to do justice, we need to look at the criminal and consider everything that's led to this point. What's going on with them? What about their past lives? What about the whole picture? Compassion is not a popular topic, nor do I ever hear it integrated with the topic of justice. And thank the gods for how compassionate they can be to us when they weigh our souls against the weight of an ostrich feather. May it be easy, May it be fair. May it witness all of the lack of care we've ever had to chew on down here. And can we hand that grace to another in this place to get back to the truth of what we be and not lose sight of the love that we've always been? You can always subscribe to Rare Bird Medicine, like and comment there. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Amun.